you'd want to see what the highs and the lows of the trip look like. Hey, thanks so much for joining us on the second leg of our Tesla road trip. We're using Tesla this time to return from Orlando, Florida to Dayton, Ohio, using solely the Tesla Supercharger network. On the way down, we use the Electrify America Supercharger network. We'll put a link down below to those videos so you can check that out and see what our experience was like. So far, we're halfway through our trip. We just stopped to charge in Knoxville. In fact, we went inside to Five Guys to get a few things to eat, some fries, and next thing I know, I get a notification on my app that it's time to go. So we're already ready to go. This is starting to get a little bit busier, but we haven't had to wait at all for the Tesla Superchargers. So looking forward to the rest of the trip. We're gonna enjoy our French fries and get on down the road. But thanks so much for joining us. Hope you like and subscribe. If you want to hear more content like this, hit the notification bell so that way you're notified every time I post a video here on YouTube. Thank you so much, and look forward to seeing you on the road. Will you join us here at the 12-hour mark? We've been driving for 12 hours since we left Orlando, Florida. We just stopped to supercharge at the Knoxville 250 kilowatt supercharger. Right outside of there is a Five Guys burger, so we picked up some fries, stretched our legs, just topped off just a little bit because there was a lot of cars, a lot of congestion. So we were able to pull in, plug right up. We charged for I think 12 or 13 minutes. We unplugged, and then we're going to continue on our way. And then Tesla has added an additional stop for us. So instead of having two stops, Knoxville and then Lexington, we're going to stop Knoxville, London, Kentucky, and then Florence, Kentucky, just for a quick little top off. And we'll just kind of see how things go. But overall, the trip is going very well. The traffic has picked up, and there is more traffic at the Superchargers. So when we left, there was only one open slot. That was the one that we had vacated. So just want to make sure that if someone needs to fill up or charge up, they can do so on a busy holiday weekend. So this is the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. This last leg of our trip that we had to reroute through the middle of Tennessee and kind of bypass all of Chattanooga, we averaged about 90% efficiency on that trip. So trip is going very well. The traffic has started to pick up a little bit. This is pretty normal. This is the most energy intensive portion of the drive, where we go over the mountain outside of Knoxville and we go over to Jellicoe, Tennessee. So lots of elevation gain, and it goes down to 2 lanes, and so you can have a semi-truck that can get in the left-hand lane and stop you from going the speed. So this is an area that can kind of sometimes add a little bit of time to the trip, but overall should be uneventful. Right now the traffic looks good. The weather is great. It's just slightly overcast, and so the trip's going really well. So our next stop, London, Kentucky. I'm really excited actually to check out the 250 kilowatt chargers that they put in London, Kentucky. Last time I was through here 2 months ago, they had all the construction stuff out there. It was a big mess, but they hadn't installed the new cabinets. So they kept the additional 150 kilowatt stalls, and then they added some 250 kilowatt stalls. When I get there, I'll actually do a video update from there so you can see the old chargers and the new chargers. So if you do stop in London, you'll want to make sure, if you can, to get the 250 kilowatt cabinets. Otherwise, you're going to be at the 150 kilowatt stall. And if you happen to park next to somebody, or somebody parks next to you, your power is automatically going to get cut in half to, I think it's 71 or 75 kilowatts. So just pay attention, if you're pulling in to those 150 kilowatt stalls, so that way you can make sure you're not stopping somebody else from charging unless it's the only option available. Or more importantly, you just pull up to the 250 kilowatt and get a little bit faster charging, which really only matters at those lower states of charge. Right now, this has us getting into London at 23% state of charge, so we even put in too much. Again, the Tesla navigation is very conservative, so when we unplugged, it said we were going to get there with 11%. Magically, when we unplugged, it said 23. So I don't know what calculations are going into that it's adding like a 10% buffer in between those stops. So just for me, when I'm thinking I'm going to unplug with about 5% next time to get to our next charger, so that way we roll in with a real low state of charge, and so that way we can get the quickest charging possible. So just wanted to do a bit more of an update. We didn't have a chance at the Supercharger because I didn't want to take time at the stall, and 2, we didn't need to charge anymore. So anyways, trip's going good, really enjoying it. Much more pleasant portion of the trip. I'm glad we got a few hours of sleep and left at midnight instead of just driving straight through the night. So really the first 10 hours of the trip, really no traffic whatsoever. So really uneventful, and while it is a busy holiday weekend thus far, we have been very lucky. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you in London, Kentucky, or I'll see you in London, Kentucky here in a few minutes, and we'll let you know what London looks like. I'll show you those 250 kilowatt stalls, so stay tuned. So we just made it over the Cumberland Gap, and I thought you'd want to see what the highs and the lows of the trip look like. Sometimes a picture is worth 1,000 words. You can see we went over the Cumberland Gap there on the left, and then how we came down, and you can see the graph that you're looking at. The y-axis is the watt hours per mile, and the x-axis is the distance traveled. In this case, it's the average range over 30 miles. So pretty impressive. We gave it the beans all the way up the hill, and the Tesla did not disappoint. So we're due to come into the London Supercharger with around 17%. So hopefully that drops just a little bit more when we precondition the battery, so that when we come in nice and low and we can get that 250 kilowatt charger to get charged up very quickly. So we'll see you at the charger. And you'll see right here it shows we're going to get to our next Supercharger, Florence, with minus 35%. So that gives us an indication as to what our state of charge needs to be at least to get there. So we need to add 35% to this number. So call it 55 to get there with 0. But let's go ahead and plug in, and then we'll do a little bit more of the math here. So take this, press the button. And it is that simple. You plug it in, and you see here we're already starting to charge. Already up to 220 kilowatts, 244, 251. Smoking fast. So we'll charge here for a few minutes. I'm just going to show you around the Supercharger area so you kind of know what it looks like and what things are. And this area that we just pulled into is brand new, which is really nice. These pull-through stalls would be great if you were towing a trailer with your Tesla or your soon-to-be Cybertruck order. Shout out, still waiting for mine. And you'd be able to pull through without having to unhook the trailer. So I'll show you around here and just take a look at what... So over here is the original area. Those are the original 150 kilowatt chargers that are there. Those are all on shared power. So these two share power, those two share power, and then those two share power. And then these are brand new. These are each 250 kilowatts each. And it looks like they've added 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 new 250 kilowatt stalls. So really nice area. And you've got a variety of areas to eat, get some fuel. So overall, that's what a Supercharger location is looking like. So we're going to go ahead and get out, stretch our legs, and we'll see you back on the road in about 20 minutes. All right, y'all, we've got about an hour and 45 minutes till our next stop. Fun fact, we left the London Supercharger with 5% showing to arrive in Florence. The car has figured out a way to manufacture electricity. It's incredible. Again, the car just continues to be conservative when charging, so that way you get there with plenty of buffer. I am intentionally leaving sooner, so that way when I arrive, I'm very low state of charge, so that way it charges up very, very quickly. So if I can arrive anywhere between 5 and 10%, that is perfect, because then the car just charges that much faster, so you get that much more electricity in a shorter period of time. And at the time-based chargers, you actually save a little bit of money. So for me, how much it is, I couldn't tell you. I just know when you're paying by the minute and you're pumping in at 250 kilowatts for the first couple minutes versus 80 kilowatts towards the end as you get up towards the higher state of charge, to me, you're just getting 2 to 3 times the amount for the same period of time. So while it may even out in the wash, I just try to arrive with the lowest state of charge. So we're showing about 8%, and we'll show you a neat trick as we get closer to Florence. If you ever wanted to know, well, is a supercharger busy or not? That's something with Electrify America that I found rather difficult. It would show a certain number, and then I would arrive, and the number that were either in use or were even working was completely different than what was shown on the app. So we'll show you that here in a few minutes. I love it. Potty like a rock star. Well, we currently have about 17 minutes till our supercharging stop in Florence. Let me show you a neat trick if you're ever wondering how many stalls, or if you're going to get there, if you're going to have to wait. So I'm going to show you how you can find out with the one that's coming up in your navigation, charger for that matter. The first thing you're going to do is find the charger on the map and tap it. And right there it says 4 of 12 stalls available, and it also shows the time of day and the current pricing. If for some reason it is busy, one of two things will happen. So one is you can drive to the supercharger location and wait your turn. Just you form a line just like you would if you were waiting for anything else. And you know, if you think about it, people charging are there for 5 to 20 minutes, sometimes a little bit more, but inevitably you won't be waiting very long. So first of all, you can just wait in line. Secondly, what you can do is you can zoom out and you can tap on the map and you hit this charger icon. This brings up all the available chargers in and around your area. And what you can do is you can select one of them, see how busy it is, and or you can put that in as your destination to charge before and or after. So if you're traveling at peak times, it's a good idea to take a look and see what's going on. The cool thing is Tesla will do this automatically. So you know how when we originally started our trip, we had 5 charging stops? Well, if you've been counting, we're going to be doing 6. And the reason is the Knoxville Supercharger was very busy. And what Tesla did then was shortened everybody's charging, or encouraged them to shorten, by essentially recalculating everyone's travel times for shorter charging times. And then it had us stop for a short stint in London, Kentucky, where there was plenty of chargers available. So just enough to get us over the mountain, over the Blue Ridge, or the Cumberland Gap, which is a steep elevation, which I showed you how much energy we used going up that. So Tesla will automatically reroute certain superchargers that are either busier. It'll route you to a less busy one. If they're all busy in that area and everyone's hitting that at the same time, it will try to shorten or encourage folks to shorten their charge time. So rather than staying there a real long time and charging up to that higher percentage, 70, 80, 90%, in doing that, it really, the amount of energy you get per minute really diminishes as you get above, as you get higher into your state of charge. So just frequent little hops is the best way to go to keep your trip times down and to keep moving. And then for those chargers that are time-based, meaning you plug in for 1 minute, you get as much energy as your car can take, the lower your state of charge, the more efficient you're going to be with charging. So it kind of encourages you to unplug and just to keep moving. And what I like to think of it as is just hopping, just enough to get to the next one, hop, 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 hop. And for us, we like to get out and stretch, so it's perfect to do that. So anyways, we're heading into the Florence Supercharger. The car will start preconditioning the battery here, and we'll give you our last update here at the charger, and then we'll come back to you when we get back to our house. See you there. We're in Florence, y'all. If you're not from the area, you don't know what I'm talking about, you think I'm just yelling. Well, hey, we made it here to Florence, and exactly 10% state of charge. We're going to go ahead and charge up. We need 21, and so we're going to just put in just enough to get us home. So we'll charge up to 31%. We should get home with 10%, and then we can charge the rest of the way at a much cheaper cost. So let's go ahead, get out, and get plugged in. Nice 250 kilowatt chargers. you a view. It's in a Meyer parking lot. And right now, I'm on my lonesome. So we're going to charge up here for a few minutes and then we'll get back on the road. We'll see you in a few. Well, we just peaked at 253 kilowatts. Let's see, we'll see if it comes back up. It always seems like the moment I turn my camera on, it drops back down, but still 240 kilowatts is pretty stinking fast. So we've just got a few minutes here. It says we've got 5 minutes remaining or 2 minutes remaining till we can head home. So overall, nice little area, quick in and out, and we'll be on our way shortly. Well, it's hard to describe how quick we charged. We added 21% in under 5 minutes. Right now we're going to get home with about 10% battery left. So right now we're sitting at a 30% state of charge. So that should be perfect for us getting home here. So we'll check back in at the house when we get in, but we are ready to get in. We've got about 1 hour to go, and we've got to go through Cincinnati, which is always exciting. So we'll see when we get home, but I'm ready for this trip to be over. Well, we got Dolores all tucked away in the garage. So glad to be home. One thing I love about driving this car is the copious amounts of storage. In fact, so much so, let me show you how we have stuff packed, just because I think it's pretty remarkable, the amount of stuff that we are able to store. First is the frunk that we have here. We have 2 big duffel bags plus the charging cords. Those are both able to fit inside the frunk. Let's take a look at the trunk. And then here is the trunk, and as you see, we've got plenty of room. But what you can't see is we have a roller bag, which is directly underneath here. So still tons of room, really, without folding any seats down. So glad to be home. So glad this trip is over. I've about had it with traveling right now. So anyways, let me know in the comments below what you think. I'll be doing a full recap of the trip here, comparing the costs, the charging time, the distance traveled, all of those fun facts, and giving you my thoughts on whether I think Electrify America can compete with Tesla's Supercharger network. So if you like this content, make sure you like and subscribe. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and a wonderful holidays. And I look forward to seeing you all out on the road. Make it a good one.